In our world, you will discover the most famous structures. Besides those, there are other structures that always remain a mystery and are not known by many people. They range from prehistoric creations to the grandeur of the present day. The newly built architectures stretch across all continents. This includes nations where few people set foot, yet they still harbor priceless treasures. Position number 1. The Giza Pyramids in Egypt. These 3 pyramids that are thousands of years old were designed by Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. They are considered one of the most incredible architectural achievements that humanity has ever attained. Part of the reason is that they were built at a time when the majority of humans in the world still lived a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. The Pyramid of Khufu is the largest structure, which was once considered the tallest building on Earth, and has stood firm for more than 3,800 years. This structure, which stands at 453 feet tall, was built around 2560 before Christ, which was during the era of an Egyptian pharaoh. There is an interesting fact that Queen Cleopatra lived in an era closer to our present day than to the time when this great pyramid was constructed. Another notable detail is that its 4 sides align perfectly with the cardinal directions. This demonstrates the extremely great importance of astronomy during that era. Thanks to the profound knowledge of the ancient Egyptians, these funeral memorial structures built to house the remains of the pharaohs have endured through many centuries. They overcome all tests of time and remain a great mystery to scientists as well as explorers to this day. Position number 2 is Petra in Jordan. This is an ancient city carved directly into the cliff faces. Located deep within the Jordanian desert and forgotten for centuries until it was found again. This fascinating archaeological site was built by the Nabatean civilization and always attracts tourists with its beautiful facades. Meticulously carved on pink sandstone, the most famous structure here is Al-Khazneh, which is also known as the Treasury. It is a testament to the master skills and artistic sophistication of the builders of that time. Petra was once an important trade center in ancient times. This place connected the trade routes between the East and the West. After centuries of being forgotten, this city was rediscovered by the Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt in the year 1812. Position number 3. The Meteora monasteries in Greece. This area, located in central Greece, is a wonder of both geology and architecture, featuring towering rock pillars that soar into the sky. The monasteries here were built from the 14th century to the 16th century by Orthodox Christians. To reach these sacred places, you must overcome steep staircases and winding paths. However, every effort will be rewarded with the opportunity to experience a unique space on the planet. There are more than 20 monasteries here. Although today, only a few of them remain open to the public for visits. Here are a few of the most beautiful monasteries among them. The Monastery of the Holy Trinity stands proudly on an elevated cliff at an altitude of more than 1,312 feet. Next is the Varlam Monastery, situated at an elevation of 1,224 feet. Directly beneath it is the place dubbed the Dragon Cave. The Ipapanti Monastery nestles within a rock crevice, while the Rusinu Monastery is located on the rock formation named St. Demetrios. This name was given after the first group of monks who came to settle here. Finally, the Monastery of St. Nicholas Anapausis sits on top of a narrow rock. This is the first monastery that pilgrims will encounter when arriving in the Meteora region. With its magnificent interior architecture, the floors of the monastery are connected by staircases that are approximately 26 feet long. Position number 4. The Tiger Nest Monastery in Bhutan. This is a Buddhist monastery located in the high mountains of the Kingdom of Bhutan. This structure sits precariously on a cliffside at an elevation of approximately 2,953 feet above the valley below. You can only reach this place by walking for many hours along a trail. This is one of the most sacred locations, as well as an important cultural and spiritual center for Buddhists. Legend has it that a high monk rode a flying tiger from Tibet to this cave to meditate for many years. Later, at the end of the 17th century, people built this temple. Position number 5. The Moai statues on Easter Island, belonging to Chile. These giant sculptures can stand up to 33 feet tall. They were carved by the ancient Rapa Nui civilization. These statues were created around the 13th century to the 16th century. They make a powerful impression with their massive size, along with the mystery surrounding how ancient people could transport and erect them across the island. Despite many different theories, the method of creating and transporting these giant stone blocks remains a topic that attracts the interest and study of many people. Most of the statues are positioned with their backs toward the sea. They look as though they are watching over and protecting the Rapa Nui people. Among them, the Moai Paro statue stands out the most. This is the tallest structure ever erected, with a height reaching up to 31 feet and 2 inches. Position number 6. Machu Picchu in Peru. This famous ancient Inca city lies hidden within the majestic Andes Mountains of Peru. Situated at an elevation of more than 7,874 feet above sea level, this place was once completely isolated from the outside world. It was not until 1911 that the American explorer Hiram Bingham discovered it during an expedition funded by Yale University. Since then, Machu Picchu has become a world-famous tourist destination. The original function of Machu Picchu currently remains not fully clear. However, many people believe that this place was once a retreat for the Inca nobility or an important religious ceremonial center. Position number 7. The Great Wall of China. This massive defensive structure was built to protect the Chinese Empire from the invasions of nomadic tribes, as well as to consolidate power. This wall system stretches for more than 13,048 miles, starting from the Korean border all the way to the Gobi Desert. A special point is that the construction process went through many different phases and dynasties. This leads to a diversity in architectural styles along its length. In addition to functioning as a defensive barrier, the Great Wall also played a role in border control and communications. Although we cannot see this structure from space with the naked eye, as many people mistakenly believe, it is indeed the longest man-made structure on our planet. Position number 8. Chichen Itza in Mexico. This ancient city is located on the Yucatan Peninsula. This place includes temples, pyramids, and architectural structures that have existed resiliently through many centuries. The most prominent structure in the city is El Castillo, which is also known as the Temple of Kukulkan. This is a pyramid that has 365 steps, with a height of approximately 78 feet and 9 inches. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the phenomenon of light and shadow creates the illusion of a giant serpent slithering down the staircase of the pyramid. There is also a ball court here, which is the largest and best preserved structure in the Mesoamerican region. The walls of the ball court are decorated with bas-relief carvings, depicting images of the players and sacrificial rituals. Position number 9. The Colosseum in Italy. This structure is also known as the Flavian Amphitheater. Going through many historical events, this place was once partially damaged. This place is considered one of the largest and best preserved examples of Roman architecture. It is at the same time a proud symbol of the once powerful Roman Empire. The structure was built during the reign of Emperor Vespasian. This was a place to host public performances and various social events, such as gladiator matches or theatrical performances. In addition, there were athletic competitions and mock naval battles known as naumachia. The Colosseum has an elliptical shape with a length of approximately 620 feet, a width of 512 feet, and a maximum height of 157 feet. This structure could accommodate more than 50,000 spectators, becoming one of the largest amphitheaters ever built in human history. Position number 10. Angkor Wat in Cambodia. This is the largest religious monument in the world discovered to date. This complex includes an ancient Hindu temple dating back to the 12th century. The temple was built by King Suryavarman II, serving as the main temple and also the capital city of the Khmer Empire. Although it was originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, it was later converted into a Buddhist temple around the 14th century. The architectural design of the temple is a reflection of the Hindu worldview. It symbolizes Mount Meru, the home of the gods. The entire structure is surrounded by a moat and sturdy walls, symbolizing the mountain ranges and oceans that surround the sacred mountain. One of the most prominent features of Angkor Wat is the lotus-shaped towers located at the center of the complex. Besides that, the temple is decorated with thousands of exquisite bas-reliefs and sculptures depicting great epics such as the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. In addition, the artworks also recreate the lively scenes of daily life from that era. Position number 11. The Statue of Unity in India. This is the tallest statue in the world today, with a height reaching up to 597 feet, located in the state of Gujarat, India. To help you easily visualize this giant size, it stands nearly twice as tall as the Statue of Liberty in New York City. The statue represents Sardar Patel, an eminent political and social figure. He was an Indian leader who played an important role in the struggle for independence and the unification of the country. According to sources, more than 3,000 workers and 250 engineers participated in the construction of this structure. They used 7,165 tons of structural steel along with 20,392 tons of reinforced steel. With a bronze cladding weighing 1,200 United States tons, the interior of the structure houses a museum and an exhibition center. This place tells the story of the life and career of Sardar Patel, as well as the rich history and culture of India. Position number 12. Borobudur in Indonesia. This is an ancient Buddhist temple on the island of Java, built around the 9th century under the Sailendra dynasty. It is considered one of the largest and most valuable Buddhist monuments in the world. The temple is a symbol of the Buddhist cosmology. The tiers of the structure represent the path leading to enlightenment through each different level of spiritual cultivation. The exquisite bas-reliefs, with a total of more than 2,500 panels, vividly illustrate the life of the Buddha. His teachings, along with scenes of daily life in ancient Java, have existed resiliently through many centuries. The temple was once hidden under many layers of volcanic ash and dense vegetation. It was not until 1814 that it was rediscovered by Thomas Stamford Raffles, who was the governor of Java at the time. Position number 13. Tikal in Guatemala. This is an ancient archaeological site, as well as one of the largest and most representative cities of the Maya civilization. At its peak, this place was an extremely prosperous political, religious, and urban center. With a population reaching up to tens of thousands of residents, the Maya built many massive structures here, including temples and palaces. The Great Plaza is surrounded by ball courts and giant stepped pyramids. Among them, the most prominent is Temple Number 1, which is also known as the Temple of the Great Jaguar, with a height of approximately 154 feet. An interesting thing is that this structure once appeared in the movie Star Wars Episode 4, titled A New Hope. It was used as the setting for the rebel base on the planet Yavin 4. Position number 14. The Terracotta Army of China. Perhaps this is the most impressive set of statues in the world. These life-size statues were created to protect the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang after his death. What makes the Terracotta Army fascinating is the extremely high level of detail and realism. Each statue features facial characteristics with a unique expression. In the past, they were painted with vivid colors to simulate the actual appearance of the soldiers. However, most of the paint has faded over time, leaving the statues with the natural terracotta color seen today. Since being accidentally discovered by farmers in 1974, archaeologists have excavated more than 8,000 warriors, along with hundreds of chariots and 670 horses, all handcrafted from terracotta. Position number 15. The Abu Simbel Complex in Egypt. This is a group consisting of two massive temples carved directly into the mountain rock. The structure was built during the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II as a monument dedicated to himself and his most beloved wife, Queen Nefertari. The Great Temple of Abu Simbel is the grander structure of the two temples. Its entrance is flanked by four colossal statues of Pharaoh Ramses II, with each statue standing approximately 65 feet and 7 inches tall. Alongside it is a smaller temple dedicated to Queen Nefertari and the goddess Hathor. This temple also possesses incredibly impressive statues and bas-reliefs, both on the facade and within the interior space. Although its scale is somewhat more modest compared to the Great Temple, it remains a major achievement in both architecture and art. A magical phenomenon occurs here twice each year. On February 22nd and October 22nd, the sunbeams pierce straight through the sanctuary of the Great Temple, illuminating the statues of the gods seated inside, including Ramses II. These days are believed to coincide with the commemoration of the birth date and coronation date of the Great Pharaoh. Position number 16. Teotihuacan in Mexico. These pyramids were already ancient ruins when the Aztecs first laid eyes on them. This is a pre-Columbus ancient city that once thrived for centuries and was one of the largest urban centers in the world at that time. The city was planned around the Avenue of the Dead, a main central axis road stretching for approximately 1 mile and 240 yards. The two most important structures at this site are the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. The Pyramid of the Sun is one of the largest pyramids in the world, with a height of 213 feet and each base side spanning approximately 738 feet wide. This structure was built to honor the sun god. Meanwhile, the Pyramid of the Moon, although smaller in size, is also incredibly magnificent and is believed to be dedicated to the water goddess. Position number 17. The Taj Mahal in India. This is a masterpiece mausoleum, built by Emperor Shah Jahan to commemorate his most beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal, who passed away during childbirth. This structure is considered one of the most extraordinary examples of Mughal architecture and Islamic art. The Taj Mahal is famous for its absolute beauty and harmony in symmetry. The entire structure is crafted from white marble, inlaid with precious stones featuring exquisite geometric and floral motifs. The mausoleum sits within a vast Persian-style garden, symbolizing paradise on earth, with fountains, canals, and walkways shaded by cypress trees. The appearance of the Taj Mahal changes color according to the sunlight and different times of the day. In the morning, the white marble takes on a soft pink hue. As dusk falls, it can transition to a vibrant yellow or orange. And under the moonlight, the palace radiates a magical silver glow. Position number 18. The Alhambra in Spain. This is a fortress and palace complex built during the Muslim rule in Spain. This place was once the residence of the kings of the Nasrid dynasty and their royal court. The complex includes palaces, vibrant gardens, courtyards, and a military fortress known as the Alcazaba. Among the most prominent structures, the Comares Palace, the Palace of the Lions, and the Court of the Myrtles must be mentioned. The Alhambra is situated on a hill overlooking the city of Granada and the Sierra Nevada mountain range. A strategic location helps this structure possess an incredibly solid natural defense. Position number 19. The Nazca Lines in Peru. This is a collection of giant geoglyphs on the ground, considered one of the most fascinating archaeological mysteries in the world. They include hundreds of drawings representing species of animals, plants, objects, and geometric shapes. Some of the most famous drawings that can be mentioned are the hummingbird, the monkey, the condor, and the astronaut figure. The most curious aspect of the Nazca Lines is that we can only fully admire their beauty from the air or from neighboring hills. This has led to many different theories and speculations regarding their true purpose. Some people suggest that this was a water system, while others believe that they were part of an ancient astronomical calendar or images related to religious rituals. Although they have existed for a very long time, these lines remain intact thanks to the extremely dry and stable climate of this region. Position number 20. Mont Saint-Michel Island in France. This is a town located on a small rocky island featuring a Benedictine monastery and a medieval village. The island sits within a bay where the tides can change in height by up to 49 feet and 2 inches. This variation causes the island to sometimes be connected to the mainland, but at other times completely surrounded by the sea. This site was formed in the year 708 when the Bishop of Avranches built a sanctuary to honor the Archangel Michael. Over time, this place became an important pilgrimage center during the Middle Ages. The bay area surrounding the island features very dangerous quicksand, which can trap unwary tourists when the tide goes out. For that reason, you should not walk around this area without a guide or experienced people accompanying you. Position number 21. The Leshan Giant Buddha in China. This is a giant stone statue carved directly into a cliffside, with a height reaching up to 233 feet. This is the largest stone Buddha statue in the world. The statue depicts Maitreya, the Buddha of the future, with incredibly impressive details. His ears are 23 feet long, his fingers are 26 feet long, his shoulders span 78 feet and 9 inches wide, and his nose is more than 16 feet and 5 inches long. The construction of this statue began with the hope of calming the fierce waters of the river, which often endangered boats and fishermen in the region. The interesting thing is that the chiseling of rock during the construction process actually helped reduce the power of the current, because the falling stone blocks altered the riverbed. On the cliff beside the statue, there is an inscription that reads, "The mountain is a Buddha, and the Buddha is a mountain." This reflects the philosophy in Buddhist thought that nature and the divine are always intertwined as one. Position number 22. The Acropolis in Greece. This archaeological site possesses many buildings and historical monuments, among which the Parthenon is the most famous and iconic structure. This is a symbol of the glory of ancient Greece and Athenian democracy, formed during the golden age of this city. The Parthenon was dedicated to the goddess Athena, the patron deity of the city. This is a masterpiece of Doric architecture, with a length of approximately 230 feet, a width of 102 feet, and a height of 46 feet. The structure was designed to create an illusion of architectural perfection. To the naked eye, the lines appear perfectly straight, but in reality, all the pillars and details of the building possess a slight curvature to trick the eye. In addition to the Parthenon, the Acropolis also features other important structures, such as the Erechtheian Temple with its caryatid porch of maiden columns, the Temple of Athena Nike, and the massive Propylaea Gateway. Position number 23, the Potala Palace in Tibet. This palace is located in Lhasa, the capital city of Tibet, situated on top of Marpo Rai Hill at an elevation of approximately 12,139 feet above sea level. The structure consists of two main parts. The Red Palace is where the shrines, prayer rooms, and tombs of the Dalai Lamas are located. Meanwhile, the White Palace was once the official residence and workplace of the Dalai Lamas. Position number 24, the Luxor Temple in Egypt. This ancient Egyptian temple played an important role in religious and ceremonial life. This was once the host location for the Opet Festival, a holiday honoring the gods Amun and Khonsu. The temple possesses massive colonnades, many large statues, and countless carvings on the walls. The entrance to the temple is guarded by two statues of Pharaoh Ramses II and an avenue of sphinxes, a path that originally connected the Luxor Temple with the nearby Karnak Temple. After the era of the pharaohs, the temple continued to be used as a religious center by the Romans and early Christians. Even to this day, a portion of the temple is still used by the local Muslim community as a mosque. Position number 25, Bagan in Myanmar. This is an ancient city and an incredibly unique archaeological site that was once the capital city of the pagan kingdom. This place features more than 2,000 temples and stupas, most of which are dedicated to Theravada Buddhism. The structures are decorated with murals, bas-reliefs, and exquisite Buddha statues. One of the most famous temples is the Ananda Temple, which houses 4 large Buddha statues, with each statue looking toward a different direction. Position number 26, St. Peter Basilica in the Vatican. This is a Catholic church considered a masterpiece of the Renaissance period. The structure is the crystallization of the wisdom of legendary architects such as Bramante, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Bernini, featuring a style that blends Renaissance and Baroque architecture. One of the most famous artworks inside is the marble sculpture titled the Pieta by Michelangelo. The dome of the church, also designed by Michelangelo, stands approximately 446 feet tall, offering a beautiful view over the panorama of the city of Rome. Directly beneath the main altar of the basilica is the tomb of St. Peter the Apostle, who is considered the first pope of the Catholic Church. Position number 27, Hagia Sophia in Turkey. This structure is also known by the name Hagia Sophia. For nearly 1,000 years, this was once the largest church in the world, playing a role as an important religious and cultural center. In its history of nearly 1,500 years, this place has been a Catholic church, a mosque, and a museum. The structure was originally built as an Orthodox church under the Byzantine Emperor Justinian I. In the year 1453, after the Ottoman Empire captured the city, it was converted into a mosque. An interesting feature here is the wishing column. People believe that the hole at the base of the column can grant wishes if someone can rotate their thumb in a perfect circle there. Position number 28, San Marco Square and Basilica in Italy. San Marco Square is the historical heart of Venice, the famous city of canals in Italy. Located on the east side of the square is the San Marco Basilica, a masterpiece of Byzantine architecture. This church was built to house the remains of Saint Mark the Evangelist, which were brought from Egypt to Venice. Furthermore, San Marco Square is also famous for its 18th century cafes, which are among the oldest in Europe. Alongside the narrow canals, Venice also possesses the Rialto Bridge. This is the oldest of the 4 bridges spanning the Grand Canal of the city. Position number 29, St. Basil's Cathedral in Russia. This is a church located on the Red Square in the capital city of Moscow, famous for its brilliantly colorful onion-shaped domes. The structure was built to commemorate the victory of Tsar Ivan the Terrible over the Tatar forces of the Kazan and Astrakhan regions. The cathedral consists of 9 separate chapels, each possessing its own dome and dedicated to a different saint. According to legend, Tsar Ivan the Terrible was so deeply impressed by the beauty of this church that he ordered the architect Postnik Yakovlev to be blinded. The purpose was to prevent him from building any other similarly magnificent structure anywhere else. Position number 30, Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. This fairy tale castle was built in the 19th century by King Ludwig II of Bavaria. This was both a personal refuge and a tribute dedicated to the composer Richard Wagner, whom the king deeply admired. The castle sits high on a rocky hill in the Alps, and it was the inspiration for the famous Cinderella Castle in the Disney theme parks. King Ludwig II only lived in the castle for a few months before passing away in 1886. After his death, the castle opened to the public and quickly became one of the main tourist attractions in Germany. Position number 31, the Budapest Parliament Building in Hungary. Situated on the banks of the poetic Danube River, this is one of the largest and most impressive legislative buildings in the world. It is the seat of the National Assembly of Hungary, where laws are discussed and enacted. To construct this building, people use more than 40 million bricks, 88 pounds of gold, and 242 sculptures for decoration. The interior of the building is also incredibly majestic, with marble staircases, vibrant murals, and an impressive central dome standing approximately 315 feet tall. Position number 32, the old town of Dubrovnik in Croatia. This place was once a city-state belonging to the Republic of Ragusa. Its most iconic feature is the defensive stone walls that surround the entire city, stretching for nearly 1 mile and 400 yards. The old town is a labyrinth of narrow cobblestone streets, filled with churches, palaces, and squares. One of the most famous locations in Dubrovnik is the Cathedral of the Assumption of the Virgin Mary. This is a Baroque-style building that possesses a priceless collection of religious art. Another attraction is the Rector's Palace, the former residence of the rulers of Ragusa. Currently, this place operates as a museum displaying remarkable historical artifacts and art. Position number 33, the Forbidden City in China. This is a palace complex located in Beijing, built during the Ming Dynasty. This place served as the political and ceremonial center of China for more than 500 years. The name Forbidden City comes from the fact that for centuries, only the emperor, the royal family, and their closest courtiers were permitted to enter inside. Ordinary citizens were forbidden from even approaching the palace walls. The design of the palace follows feng shui principles, organized around a central axis running from south to north. The main entrance is the Gate of Supreme Harmony, leading to a series of squares and courtyards, and ultimately to the Hall of Supreme Harmony, where the emperor performed important ceremonies and events. According to legend, the Forbidden City has exactly 9,999 rooms. The number 9 is considered a lucky number in Chinese culture and symbolizes the power of the emperor. However, in reality, this place has approximately 8,700 rooms. Position number 34, Stonehenge in the United Kingdom. This is a mysterious prehistoric monument formed approximately 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. The structure consists of a ring of giant vertical stone blocks known as megaliths. They are arranged in a circle, surrounded by a ditch and an earth bank. Scientists are still debating whether this place was used as a cemetery, a religious temple, an astronomical observatory, or even a place for healing. The stone blocks that make up Stonehenge consist of two main types. The larger stone blocks are called sarsen stones, with an average weight of approximately 25 tons. Meanwhile, the smaller stone blocks are called blue stones, weighing from 2 to 5 tons each. An incredible fact is that these blue stones originated from the Preseli Hills in Wales, approximately 149 miles away. How ancient people could transport these stone blocks such a long distance still remains a major mystery. Position number 35, the Hanging Monastery in China. This is a unique temple complex, suspended on a cliffside at a height of approximately 246 feet above the ground, within the Hangshan mountain range. The monastery was built by combining supporting wooden pillars and rocky niches chiseled deep into the cliff. Despite its somewhat fragile appearance, this structure has stood firm against many earthquakes and landslides over the centuries, thanks to incredibly ingenious construction techniques. This is a place of worship for three different religions: Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. You can find statues and artifacts from all three of these religions in many different prayer rooms and shrines throughout the monastery. The monastery was designed to make the most of the natural environment to protect itself from harsh weather. Its position helps avoid direct sunlight, creating a cool and pleasant atmosphere inside. In addition, this layout also protects the temple from floods and erosion caused by rain or melting ice from the mountain. Position number 36, Derinkuyu in Turkey. This is an ancient underground city located in the Cappadocia region, and it is the largest underground city ever discovered in this area. It is believed that, at its peak, approximately 20,000 people lived together here. The city reaches a depth of up to 279 feet, comprising 18 to 20 levels. The residents here constructed homes, storage areas, livestock stables, underground churches, ventilation systems, and a network of tunnels connecting Derinkuyu with other neighboring underground cities. This place once served as a safe refuge for the region's inhabitants, helping them escape from wars and invasions. Position number 37, Himeji Castle in Japan. This structure is also known as the White Heron Castle, due to its elegant and splendid appearance. This is one of the most famous and best preserved castles in Japan. The main structure of the castle is the central keep, surrounded by a complex of 83 other buildings, including warehouses, watchtowers, and gates. The defensive design of the castle is incredibly sophisticated, with many traps and secret pathways aimed at confusing and trapping enemies should an attack occur. A special aspect is that Himeji Castle has never been attacked or damaged by war throughout its history. Thanks to this, the structure still retains its original state entirely intact. Additionally, it miraculously survived bombings during World War II and multiple major earthquakes, becoming one of the few ancient architectures still standing firm in Japan. Position number 38, the Palace of Westminster in the United Kingdom. This is one of the most iconic buildings in London, situated on the banks of the River Thames. It is the seat of the British Parliament, which includes the House of Commons and the House of Lords. The palace is famous not only for its political importance, but also for its splendid Gothic architecture and the familiar clock tower often known as Big Ben. The original palace was built in the 11th century, but over the years, it suffered many fires and had to undergo multiple overhauls. The building we see today is the result of a major reconstruction in the 19th century, following a devastating fire in 1834 that destroyed most of the old palace. Position number 39, the Trevi Fountain in Italy. This is one of the most beautiful fountains in the world, built in the 18th century in the city of Rome. With a height of approximately 85 feet and a width of nearly 164 feet, it is the largest fountain in the city. The central statue of the monument depicts Neptune, the sea god in Roman mythology, riding on a shell-shaped chariot pulled by two seahorses. Flanking Neptune are statues of Triton alongside other mythological figures, combined with bas reliefs depicting scenes related to water. According to legend, if you throw a coin over your shoulder into the fountain, you are guaranteed to return to Rome one day. If you throw 2 coins, you may find a new love, and 3 coins will pave the way for a marriage. Every day, thousands of euros in coins are collected from this fountain to be donated to local charities. Position number 40, Notre Dame Cathedral in France. The construction of this Gothic architectural masterpiece began in 1163 and was completed in 1345. The cathedral is located on the Île de la Cité, a small island situated in the middle of the Seine River. The structure is famous for its brilliantly colorful stained glass rose windows, grotesque gargoyles, and a massive roof system and bell towers. Notre Dame de Paris served as the main setting for many literary works, most famously the novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame by the great writer Victor Hugo. The cathedral is also known for its bell tower, which houses the giant bell named Emmanuel, weighing more than 13 tons. This is the largest bell among the cathedral's 10 total bells. In April 2019, a tragic fire devastated a large part of the cathedral, causing the spire to collapse and inflicting severe damage to the structure and artworks. Fortunately, many precious relics and treasures, including the crown of thorns, which, according to legend, belonged to Jesus, were rescued from the flames. Position number 41. 8 Ben Haddou in Morocco. This is a sar, which means fortress in Arabic. This is a traditional architectural type of the Maghreb region in North Africa. The structure was developed around the 11th century, serving as an important stopover on the trade routes connecting the Sahara Desert with Marrakesh and other cities in Morocco. Merchants often stopped here to rest, exchange goods, and protect themselves against the dangers of the desert. This fortress comprises multiple houses made from mud and clay, built on different levels and surrounded by towering defensive walls. At the highest point of the fortress sit a fortified granary and a mosque. Position number 42. Mount Rushmore in the United States. This is one of the most famous monuments in America, located in the state of South Dakota. The monument consists of giant sculptures standing approximately 59 feet tall, carving the faces of 4 United States presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The Mount Rushmore project was initiated by historian Doane Robinson with the purpose of promoting tourism. Construction began in 1927 under the direction of sculptor Gutzon Borglum and lasted for 14 years until completion in 1941. Originally, people intended to carve the full bodies of the presidents, but due to time and funding constraints, ultimately only the faces were executed. Position number 43. The Palace of Versailles in France. The structure was built in the 17th century and served as a royal residence until the French Revolution broke out in 1789. Originally, this place was merely a hunting lodge for King Louis XIII. However, his son, King Louis XIV, decided to transform it into a magnificent royal palace with vast gardens and fountains stretching over an area of approximately 1,977 acres. An interesting detail about the Palace of Versailles is the plumbing system used for its countless fountains. In the 17th century, technology was not advanced enough to keep all the fountains running at the same time. Therefore, the gardeners had to manually turn the fountains on and off whenever the king walked past during his strolls. Position number 44, Spain Square in Spain. This beautiful square was constructed from 1914 to 1929 in the city of Seville. The goal of the project was to showcase the greatness and splendor of Spanish architecture and culture to international friends. The square is semicircular in shape, featuring a building with a style that combines Renaissance and Mudéjar architecture, a signature style of southern Spain. The highlight of the square is the rows of ceramic benches representing the provinces of the country. They are decorated with exquisitely hand-painted tiles, reenacting historical events and symbols of each region. In addition, there is also a semicircular lake here, where visitors can enjoy a relaxing feeling while rowing boats around. Position number 45, Hohenzollern Castle in Germany. This is a Gothic-style castle of the Hohenzollern family, built in the 19th century. The castle is situated on the peak of Mount Hohenzollern at an altitude of over 2,788 feet. This place preserves a vast collection of precious artworks and historical artifacts, such as the crown of Prussian kings, alongside an armory and armor belonging to the Hohenzollern family. The castle we see today is actually the third version, as the two previous structures were destroyed at different times in history. Position number 46, Penha Palace in Portugal. This 19th century masterpiece of Romanticism was built by King Ferdinand II. He desired a summer palace to serve as a romantic retreat, and at the same time, a symbol of the wealth and power of the Portuguese monarchy. According to stories passed down, King Ferdinand personally supervised the construction process and provided many design suggestions. This very factor contributed to creating the unique appearance, unlike anywhere else, of this palace. Position number 47, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway. This place is also known as the Doomsday Seed Vault. This is an absolutely secure storage facility located in the Svalbard archipelago near the Arctic Circle. The vault was created to protect and preserve the genetic diversity of food crop species worldwide against natural disasters, armed conflicts, or any situation threatening global food security. Situated in a remote and extremely frigid area, this place ensures ideal conditions for preserving seeds for a long time. This facility is installed at a height of approximately 427 feet above sea level and sits 394 feet deep inside the mountain. This special position helps it withstand floods and powerful earthquakes. Position number 48. The Panama Canal. This is one of the wonders of modern engineering. Located on the Isthmus of Panama, the narrow strip of land connecting North America and South America. This artificial canal was inaugurated in 1914. It allows ships to travel between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, helping save significant time and distance compared to the traditional route looping around Cape Horn at the southern tip of the Americas. The Panama Canal has a length of approximately 50 miles, passing through a system of lakes, locks, and deep canal sections. Although the project was completed by the United States, the initial construction was initiated by the French in 1881. However, the French side faced countless difficulties, such as tropical diseases and insurmountable engineering problems, leading to the project being temporarily halted. Position number 49. The Great Sphinx of Giza in Egypt. Located near the pyramids on the Giza Plateau, this is a giant stone statue depicting a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human. The statue is believed to represent a pharaoh. With impressive dimensions of 240 feet long, 66 feet tall, and 62 feet wide, it is one of the largest and oldest stone statues in the world, built around 2500 BC. As for the statue's nose, it is known to have been intentionally broken off, but the exact manner remains a mystery. Various theories exist, ranging from acts of vandalism to weapon damage inflicted during military conflicts. Position number 50. Sigiriya in Sri Lanka. This is an ancient fortress and palace, situated atop a massive stone column rising over 656 feet tall. In addition to serving as a refuge, the palace on the mountaintop offered panoramic views of the surrounding area, helping residents spot enemies from afar. The structure was built in the 5th century by King Kasyapa, who selected this strategic location to establish his palace and capital. The pathway leading to the summit begins with a rock formation shaped like a lion, followed by a series of steep and narrow stairs. Although most of the lion's body has been destroyed over time, you can still see the stone paws. This is also the origin of the name Sigiriya, which means lion rock in Sinhalese. Position number 51. Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral in Italy. This structure is also known as the Florence Cathedral. It is a landmark of Renaissance architecture, famous for its dome designed by Filippo Brunelleschi. The cathedral's facade is crafted from green, white, and pink marble, serving as a prime example of the Italian Gothic style. Position number 52, Prague Castle in the Czech Republic. This is not only one of the largest and oldest castles in the world, but it has also been the center of Czech political and cultural power for over 1,000 years. Throughout history, this place has served as the seat of kings, emperors, and presidents, showcasing a beautiful blend of Romanesque, Gothic, Baroque, and Renaissance architectural styles. Currently, the castle remains the official office of the President of the Czech Republic, making it one of the few castles in the world still used for political purposes. The changing of the guard ceremony taking place every hour at the main gate is always an event that attracts a large number of tourists. Position number 53, Tanah Lot Temple in Indonesia. This is undoubtedly one of the most extraordinary temples in the world, thanks to its location on an isolated rock formation in the middle of the ocean and its breathtaking sunsets. The temple was built in the 16th century by a priest named Deng Hyang Nirartha, who deemed this a sacred place to worship the sea gods. Legend has it that all the sea snakes in this area, with their distinctive black and white coloration, are the protectors of this sacred site. It is said that these snakes guard the area and its residents from evil things. In return, humans always respect, protect, and let them live in their natural environment. Position number 54, the Corinth Canal in Greece. This is an amazing engineering project connecting the Gulf of Corinth with the Aegean Sea. It allows ships to travel between the Peloponnese Peninsula and the Greek mainland without having to sail all the way around the peninsula. The current canal is approximately 4 miles long and 82 feet wide, making it suitable for small and medium-sized vessels. In addition to its function as a maritime route, this canal is also famous for extreme sports, most notably bungee jumping from high above down into the narrow canal bed. Position number 55, Predjama Castle in Slovenia. This is a fortress built directly into the mouth of a giant cave, situated on a 404-foot-high cliff. It is considered the largest cave castle in the world, comprising 4 levels with many functional rooms, ranging from food storage areas to a sacred chapel. Position number 56, the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood in Russia. This Eastern Orthodox Church is located in the city of St. Petersburg, built in a traditional Russian architectural style combined with Baroque elements. The most prominent feature of the structure is its mosaic area, covering more than 75,300 square feet, reenacting religious scenes. This is one of the largest collections of mosaic art in Europe, creating an incredibly splendid and mystical interior space. Position number 57, Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. This is a giant 98-foot-tall statue of Jesus Christ, located atop Mount Corcovado in the city of Rio de Janeiro. The project was the result of a collaborative effort between Brazil and France, taking nearly a decade to complete its design and construction. The components of the statue were manufactured in France and then transported to Brazil for assembly. Christ the Redeemer is also a symbol of peace and unity. On many occasions, the statue has been illuminated with the flag colors of different nations or the symbols of international organizations to demonstrate solidarity during challenging times. Position number 58, Shwedagon Pagoda in Myanmar. This is the oldest Buddhist pagoda in the world, dating back approximately 2,500 years and serves as an important pilgrimage site for Buddhist devotees from all over the globe. The main attraction is the central stupa, standing approximately 325 feet tall, which is entirely gilded with pure gold leaves. The crown of the stupa is decorated with thousands of diamonds and various other precious stones. Shwedagon Pagoda houses sacred Buddhist relics, including 8 strands of hair from Gautama Buddha. It is also said that this place contains relics of 3 Buddhas who preceded Gautama Buddha, which further elevates the immense spiritual significance of the pagoda. Position number 59, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. This is one of the most famous ancient towers in the world due to its distinct tilt to one side. The cause of this issue was the clay and sand foundation where the tower was built, which was incapable of supporting the structure's immense weight, causing it to begin leaning right during its construction. For centuries, the tower's tilt was a major concern as it increased gradually over time and threatened to cause a collapse. However, restoration and stabilization work was carried out in the 1990s to prevent the tower from leaning further. Today, we no longer have to worry about the tower falling over. Position number 60, the Statue of Liberty in the United States. This is one of the most iconic symbols of America, located on Liberty Island in New York City Harbor. The full name of the monument is Liberty Enlightening the World. The statue represents freedom and hope, serving as a symbol of welcome to millions of immigrants who arrived in the United States in search of a better life. This was a gift from the people of France to the United States in 1886 to celebrate the centennial of American independence and as a symbol of friendship between the two nations. The statue stands approximately 151 feet tall from its base to the tip of the torch. If the pedestal and foundation are included, the monument reaches a total height of 305 feet. Position number 61. Karnak Temple in Egypt. This is a massive complex of temples and monuments located in Luxor, built over a span of more than 2,000 years by many different pharaoh dynasties. The temple mainly worships the god Amun, but you can also find shrines dedicated to other deities such as Mut and Khonsu. One of the most astonishing places is the hypostyle hall inside the precinct of Amun-Re. This area features 134 giant stone columns, arranged in 16 rows, with some columns reaching up to 79 feet high. Another highlight is the Avenue of Sphinxes with ram-headed and lion-bodied statues, a pathway that connects Karnak Temple with the nearby Luxor Temple. Position number 62. Ellora Caves in India. These are giant temples carved directly into the rock face of a mountain, representing three major religions in India: Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. The harmonious coexistence of religious traditions at the same site is a testament to the tolerance and mutual respect that existed in India during that period. The caves are numbered from 1 to 34 and grouped by religion. The Buddhist cave group is the oldest, containing impressive Buddha statues and bas-reliefs reenacting his life. The Hindu cave group possesses countless sculptures of deities and mythological epics. Finally, the Jain cave group contains the most recent structures, decorated with statues of Tirthankaras, the revered enlightened masters in Jainism. Position number 63. The Eiffel Tower in France. This is one of the most iconic and easily recognizable structures in the world. The tower features a wrought iron structure designed by engineer Gustave Eiffel, constructed from 1887 to 1889. It served as the main entrance and the centerpiece of the World's Fair in Paris at that time. The structure stands approximately 1,083 feet tall, making it the tallest building in the world at the time of its completion. The Eiffel Tower held this title until 1930, when it was surpassed by the Chrysler Building in New York. Position number 64. Seville Cathedral in Spain. This Gothic-style cathedral is the third largest church in the world and the largest in Spain. The structure was built from 1402 to 1506 on the site of a former mosque. Its most signature feature is the Giralda, a tower that previously served as the minaret of the former mosque. The base of the tower features an Islamic style, while the top exhibits a Renaissance style. The interior of the cathedral preserves a vast amount of religious artworks and priceless treasures, such as the main altar, a masterpiece of Spanish Gothic art. Additionally, this is also where the tomb of Christopher Columbus is located. During the construction process, those in charge of the project declared, "Let us build a church so great that those who see it finished will think we are mad." Position number 65, Masjid al-Haram, or the Great Mosque of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. This is the largest mosque in the world, the holiest site for Muslims, and the primary destination of the annual pilgrimage known as the Hajj. This is one of the 5 pillars of Islam that every adult Muslim must fulfill at least once in their lifetime if they possess sufficient health and financial capabilities. Today, the mosque has a capacity to accommodate more than 1 million people inside and within its courtyards. The heart of Masjid al-Haram is the Kaaba, a black cuboid structure which, according to Islamic tradition, was built by the Prophet Abraham and his son Ishmael. Position number 66, Tower Bridge in the United Kingdom. One of London's most famous landmarks, this is a bascule bridge used to connect the 2 banks of the River Thames, located near the Tower of London and thus named after this monument. The bridge is a combination of Gothic and neoclassical architectural styles, with a total length of approximately 800 feet, while its 2 towers reach a height of 213 feet. One of the most interesting features of Tower Bridge is its lifting mechanism, which allows the bridge spans to be raised for large vessels to pass through. Originally, this mechanism operated using steam engines, but in 1974, it was modernized and replaced by an electro-hydraulic system. Position number 67, Sagrada Familia in Spain. This is a Catholic minor basilica located in Barcelona, a masterpiece by the genius architect Antoni Gaudí. This project has been under continuous construction since 1882. Its architecture is one of a kind, combining Gothic elements with Art Nouveau and Modernisme, deeply embedded with religious symbolism alongside shapes and patterns inspired by nature. Having reached its final structural height of 566 feet, the Sagrada Familia is the tallest Christian church in the world. Position number 68. The Mosque Cathedral of Córdoba in Spain. This is the fourth largest mosque in the world, combining Islamic and Christian architecture within the same building. After Christian kings reconquered Córdoba in 1236, the mosque was consecrated into a Christian cathedral. The most prominent feature of the cathedral is the 850 columns made of marble, jasper, and red porphyry, supporting two-toned, horseshoe-shaped arches. This creates a mesmerizing visual effect and a sense of infinity within the space. Position number 69. The Amphitheater of El Jem in Tunisia. This is an ancient Roman amphitheater, one of the largest and best preserved in the world, with a capacity of 35,000 spectators and a height of over 98 feet. This place once served as the entertainment center of the ancient city of Thysdrus, a prosperous Roman city. Gladiatorial contests, mock naval battles, and various other public shows took place here. Position number 70. The rock-hewn churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia. This is a group of 11 monolithic churches carved directly into volcanic rock, with the purpose of representing a new Jerusalem for Christian pilgrims who were unable to reach the actual land of Jerusalem. The most famous church is Beate Georgis, Church of St. George, featuring a cross shape carved deep into a square rock pit and connected to the rest of the complex through underground tunnels and pathways. Other notable churches include Beate Mariam, Beate Medhane, and Beate Golgotha. Position number 71. Sumela Monastery in Turkey. This Greek Orthodox monastery nestles against the cliffside of Mount Mela at an altitude of approximately 3,937 feet above sea level. Despite being situated in a remote and rugged location, this place still became an important cultural and religious center under the Byzantine Empire and later the Ottoman Empire. Position number 72. Taung Kalat Monastery in Myanmar. This is a Buddhist monastery perched on the summit of a 738-foot tall volcanic plug. This rock formation is actually the remaining core of an extinct volcano named Mount Popa. To reach this sacred site, visitors must conquer 777 steps carved directly into the mountainside. Position number 73. Las Lajas Sanctuary in Colombia. This is a church suspended over the canyon of the Guaitara River at a height of approximately 164 feet. The church was built on the site where, according to local belief, the Virgin Mary appeared to a woman and her daughter. Legend has it that after the daughter passed away, the mother returned to the site of the former apparition, and the Virgin Mary resurrected the young girl. Another mystery is that to this day, no one knows who painted the image of the Virgin Mary located at the back of the church. Position number 74, Registan Square in Uzbekistan. This square is located in Samarkand, one of the oldest cities in the world with a history spanning over 2,500 years. This place once served as an important hub on the Silk Road and a crossroads of different cultures and civilizations. The Registan is the very heart of the ancient city, framed by three massive Islamic madrasas with splendidly decorated facades and brilliantly colorful domes, named Ulugh Beg, Sherdor, and Tilakori. Position number 75, Uxmal in Mexico. These are the ruins of one of the most important Maya cities in the Yucatan region, which was once home to approximately 15,000 people. The Pyramid of the Magician, standing about 115 feet tall, is the most remarkable structure here. Legend has it that it was built in just a single night by a dwarf with magical powers, who subsequently became the king of the city. The architectural style of Uxmal is known as Puk, characterized by detailed limestone mosaics, masks of the rain god Chak, and intricate decorative friezes. Position number 76, Burj Khalifa in the United Arab Emirates. This is a skyscraper in Dubai and currently the tallest building in the world, standing at an astonishing height of 2,717 feet with 163 floors. It houses offices, luxury hotels, and some of the highest restaurants in the world. The tower also features an observation deck named At the Top, located on the 148th floor, where you can feast your eyes on a panoramic view of Dubai City and its surrounding areas. Position number 77, the Golden Gate Bridge in the United States. This bridge in San Francisco is the most famous bridge in America, easily recognizable thanks to its signature orange color. This was a deliberate choice to ensure that ships could see the bridge amidst the thick fog that frequently blankets the bay. Originally, the design was expected to feature black and yellow stripes, but the consulting architect Irving Morrow changed his mind and selected the current orange tone. This truly proved to be a brilliant and iconic choice. Position number 78, the Sydney Opera House in Australia. This is a performing arts center that hosts concerts, operas, ballets, and various other cultural events. The structure possesses a highly distinctive, futuristic design with white-tiled roof vaults that look like the sails of a ship. Danish architect Jørgen Utzon was commissioned to design the Opera House after winning an international competition in 1957. However, his design faced countless challenges and obstacles, causing the construction process to stretch over a decade and go far beyond the original budget. Position number 79, Schönbrunn Palace in Austria. This was once the summer residence of the Habsburg royalty, featuring more than 1,400 rooms, each decorated with exquisite and luxurious details. The palace is particularly famous for its splendid halls, such as the Grand Gallery and the Hall of Mirrors, which once hosted events for royalty and the aristocracy. The structure also impresses with its French-style gardens stretching over an area of 460 acres, including fountains, a labyrinth, greenhouses, and numerous sculptures. One of the main highlights is the Gloriette, a panoramic viewing terrace where you can enjoy a beautiful view of the palace and its surroundings. Position number 80, the Brandenburg Gate in Germany. This is one of Berlin's most iconic monuments and a historical symbol of Germany's reunification. The gate stands approximately 85 feet tall, topped with the quadriga, a sculpture of a chariot drawn by 4 horses driven by Victoria, the Roman goddess of victory. Following Napoleon's defeat in 1814, the quadriga was returned to Berlin from Paris, where it had been taken as a trophy of war. Upon its return, an iron cross and a Prussian eagle were added, transforming the goddess of victory into a symbol of peace. Position number 81, the Nubian Pyramids in Sudan. This is a group of ancient tomb structures from the kingdoms of Kush and Meroe, 2 civilizations that once flourished in the ancient Nubian region. Although the Nubian pyramids were also constructed as tombs for rulers and aristocrats, their design and architectural style are very distinctive. Unlike the Egyptian pyramids, the Nubian pyramids are smaller and feature much steeper angles on their sides. In total, there are approximately 255 Nubian pyramids scattered across various sites, with Meroe, Jebel Barkal, and Nuri being the areas with the highest concentrations. Position number 82, Alexander Nevsky Cathedral in Bulgaria. This is an Eastern Orthodox cathedral, serving as an important place of worship and pilgrimage for the Bulgarian Orthodox community. The architecture of the cathedral is a combination of Neo-Byzantine, Neo-Renaissance, and Neo-Baroque styles, creating an incredibly impressive appearance. Standing at a height of approximately 148 feet, the cathedral can accommodate around 10,000 people inside, making it one of the largest Eastern Orthodox cathedrals in the world. Position number 83, Altamira Cave in Spain. This is one of the most important Paleolithic rock art sites in the world, featuring drawings that date back approximately 36,000 years. The artworks depict bison, horses, deer, and even human hands. They were created using natural pigments such as iron oxide and manganese mixed with water or animal fat to form paint. When first discovered in the 19th century, many experts did not believe these paintings were authentic. They argued that the art was too advanced to have been the work of prehistoric artists. It was not until 1902 that they were officially recognized as genuine historical monuments. Position number 84, Cueva de las Manos, Cave of the Hands, in Argentina. The name of this landmark translates to the Cave of the Hands. This is an archaeological and rock art site famous for stenciled negative prints of hands decorating the rock faces, dating back 12,000 to 15,000 years. These prints were created by placing a hand against the rock wall and then blowing pigment around it, leaving an outline of the hand on the surface. In addition to the hand shapes, the cave walls also depict animals such as guanacos and vivid hunting scenes. Position number 85, Baalbek in Lebanon. This is an archaeological site of Roman ruins, housing some of the largest and best preserved Roman temples in the world. The complex features three main temples: the Temple of Jupiter, the Temple of Bacchus, and the Temple of Venus. Among them, the Temple of Bacchus is the best preserved, remaining even more intact than the Parthenon in Athens. It is one of the most important temples dedicated to the god of wine, measuring 216 feet long and 102 feet high. Position number 86, Agra Fort in India. Also known as the Red Fort of Agra, this is a fortress of Mughal architecture, located just a few kilometers away from the famous Taj Mahal. The structure was constructed primarily of red sandstone, harmoniously combining Indian, Persian, Islamic, and European architectural styles. Shah Jahan, the Mughal emperor who built the Taj Mahal in memory of his wife, was later imprisoned in this very fortress by his own son Aurangzeb until his passing. Position number 87, Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in the United Arab Emirates. This modern architectural mosque is named after the founder and also the first president of the country, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, who currently rests here. The design and construction process involved artisans and materials from all over the world, including Turkey, India, Morocco, China, and Italy. This is one of the largest mosques in the world, with a capacity to accommodate around 40,000 people. It is also one of the few Islamic places of worship in the region open to non-Muslim visitors, reflecting the late King Sheikh Zayed's desire to create a space where people of different cultures and beliefs can come together to learn about Islam and local culture. Position number 88, Ayutthaya Historical Park in Thailand. These are the ruins that were once part of the capital of the Ayutthaya Kingdom, one of the most important and wealthy cities in Southeast Asia until its destruction in 1767 during the Burmese invasion. The complex comprises temples, palaces, Buddha statues, and ancient city walls. Some of the most notable sites are Wat Mahathat, famous for its iconic image of a Buddha head entwined within the roots of an old tree, and Wat Chai Wat Thanaram, a praying-style structure heavily influenced by Cambodian architecture. Position number 89, Argi Bam, Citadel of Bam, in Iran. This is an ancient mud brick citadel, considered one of the largest adobe structures in the world. This place once served as an important commercial and military hub along the Silk Road. A devastating earthquake in 2003 destroyed most of the citadel and caused severe loss of life. Since then, restoration efforts have been carried out using traditional construction techniques and local materials to preserve the authenticity of this monument. Position number 90, Kiyomizu-dera Temple in Japan. Also known as the Pure Water Temple, this is an ancient Buddhist temple built to honor Kannon Bodhisattva. The temple is situated on Mount Otowa, highlighted by a main hall featuring a large wooden stage supported by massive pillars, assembled entirely without the use of nails or screws. During the Edo period, vast terraces and main halls were added across popular sites to accommodate the growing number of visiting pilgrims. Right beneath the main temple flows the Otowa no Taki waterfall, which divides into 3 pure streams of water. It is believed that these streams possess healing powers, and drinking from them can bring health, longevity, as well as success in studies. Position number 91, the Alcázar of Segovia in Spain. Throughout history, this castle has served as a royal palace, a prison, a military academy, and currently operates as a museum and historical archive. The structure was built in the 12th century on the remains of an Arab fortress, harmoniously combining Romanesque, Gothic, and Mudejar architectural styles, reflecting the diverse influences that shaped this region. It is believed to be one of the castles that inspired Cinderella's castle in Disney movies. Position number 92, Palm Jumeirah in the United Arab Emirates. This is a wonder of modern engineering located in Dubai, an incredible artificial archipelago shaped like a palm tree. The project was built to expand the city's tourism and residential offering. Its structure consists of a central trunk and 16 fronds, along with a crescent-shaped breakwater that protects the island from tides and storms. This place offers luxurious accommodations, including lavish hotels, villas, and high-end beachfront apartments. Palm Jumeirah can even be seen from space, testifying to the immense impact of this project on the geography of the region. Position number 93. The Petronas Twin Towers in Malaysia. These are twin skyscrapers in Kuala Lumpur, standing at a height of approximately 1,483 feet, comprising 88 floors. A special highlight is an elevated bridge connecting the two towers, known as the Sky Bridge, located on the 41st and 42nd floors. An interesting fact is that although the Petronas Towers no longer hold the title of the tallest buildings in the world, they still retain the record for being the tallest twin towers in the world today. Position number 94. The Alhambra Palace in Spain. This is a royal palace deeply influenced by Islamic and Mudéjar architecture, conceived in the 11th century as a residence for the Islamic kings of the Taifa dynasty in Zaragoza. Following the Christian conquest in 1118, the palace was renovated and expanded to serve the kings of Aragon. Mudéjar architectural elements were added, creating a unique blend of Islamic and Christian styles, a signature characteristic of the art and architecture of the Aragon region. Position number 95. The Temple of Heaven in China. This is a complex of religious buildings developed during the Ming Dynasty, once used by the emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties to perform annual prayer and sacrificial ceremonies. The purpose of these rituals was to pray for a bountiful harvest and to maintain cosmic balance. The two most famous structures in the complex are the Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests and the circular mound altar. The number 9, considered auspicious in Chinese culture, was repeatedly used in the temple's design. For instance, the steps leading up to the circular mound altar are arranged in multiples of 9. And the floor tiles also follow the rule of this number. Position number 96. The Landwasser Viaduct in Switzerland. This is a railway viaduct measuring 446 feet long and 213 feet high. The structure consists of 6 arched spans, each approximately 66 feet wide, supporting the tracks across the deep valley of the Landwasser River. The most unique feature of this bridge is that its eastern end connects directly into a tunnel carved straight into the mountainside, creating a spectacular landscape rarely seen elsewhere in the world. Position number 97, Rani Ki Vav in India. This is a stepwell constructed to honor King Bhima I by Queen Udayamati with the purpose of providing water to the local population during periods of drought. The structure features 7 levels of stairs with over 500 incredibly detailed sculptures representing deities and mythological characters. It was rediscovered in the 1900s after being buried for centuries by floods from the Saraswati River. Since then, extensive restoration work has been carried out to return it to its former glory. Position number 98. Ajanta Caves in India. This is a series of 29 rock-cut caves filled with Buddhist frescoes and sculptures. The murals depict stories from the past lives of the Buddha, known as the Jataka tales, as well as scenes of daily life in ancient India. They were rediscovered in 1819 by a British officer named John Smith after being hidden for centuries beneath the dense vegetation of the jungle. Position number 99. Meenakshi Amman Temple in India. This is a Hindu temple dedicated to the goddess Parvati, known in this region as Meenakshi, and her consort, the god Shiva. The temple comprises 14 gateway towers, known as gopurams, which are covered with thousands of figures of deities, demons, and animals, all intricately carved and painted in vibrant colors. The main tower dedicated to the goddess Meenakshi stands approximately 167 feet tall. Position number 100. The Great Mosque of Samarra in Iraq. This is an ancient mosque that once belonged to the vast Abbasid Caliphate. Its most distinctive feature is the spiraling minaret known as the Malwiya, standing approximately 171 feet tall, which resembles a snail shell. During its golden age, it was one of the largest mosques in the world, covering an area of about 45,400 square yards. Position number 101, the Three Gorges Dam in China. This is the largest dam in the world and one of the most impressive engineering feats on the planet, situated on the Yangtze River in Hubei province. This colossal dam was designed to generate hydroelectric power, control flooding, and improve river navigation. The dam measures approximately 7,500 feet long and 607 feet high, creating a reservoir that stretches about 410 miles upstream. The hydroelectric power station here has an installed capacity of 22,500 megawatts, capable of producing around 3% of China's total Position number 102, the Suez Canal. This is an artificial maritime route connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. It is an engineering marvel of vital importance to global trade, as it allows ships to travel between Europe and Asia without having to circumnavigate the African continent via the Cape of Good Hope. The Suez Canal was inaugurated in 1869, following 10 years of construction under the direction of French engineer Ferdinand de Lesseps. The canal is approximately 1,200 miles long, with a width ranging from 918 to 1,132 feet. The depth of the canal has also been gradually increased over the years to accommodate increasingly larger vessels. Position number 103, Ta Prohm Temple in Cambodia. This temple is part of the Angkor complex, astonishing visitors with the interplay between stone ruins and untamed nature. Over the years, giant tree roots have pierced through the stone walls, enveloping the temple and creating a mystical atmosphere akin to an adventure movie. Position number 104, the Genghis Khan statue complex in Mongolia. This colossal statue depicts the legendary Mongolian leader riding on horseback. The structure stands 131 feet tall and is made of stainless steel, giving it a gleaming and majestic appearance. The location of the statue holds deep symbolic meaning, as it is believed to be the exact spot where Genghis Khan found a golden whip, an object of immense spiritual significance. The statue faces east towards his birthplace, honoring the leader who rose from a humble equestrian to rule a vast empire stretching from Eastern Europe to East Asia. Position number 105, the Empire State Building in the United States. This is one of the most famous skyscrapers in the world, located in New York City, inaugurated in 1931. For many years, the Empire State Building was the tallest building in the world, reaching an impressive height of 1,454 feet, including its lightning rod. The building is globally recognized for its appearances in countless classic movies, such as King Kong, Independence Day, and Superman II. Position number 106, Cinderella Castle in the United States. Located within Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida, this castle was inspired by the fairy tale of Cinderella and real-life castles like Neuschwanstein in Germany, the Alcazar of Segovia in Spain, and the Château de Chambord in France. Although it has the appearance of being built from brick and stone, it is actually constructed from fiberglass, steel, and concrete. This is because traditional building materials would not be able to withstand the hurricanes and tornadoes that frequently hit Florida. Position number 107, the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. This is currently the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, located near the city of Geneva, Switzerland. The apparatus features a massive circular structure with a circumference of approximately 17 miles. The entire system is housed in an underground tunnel at depths ranging from 164 to 574 feet. This is a monumental scientific tool, allowing researchers to propel subatomic particles, such as protons, to speeds approaching the speed of light. When these particles collide, they generate miniature explosions that replicate the primordial moments of the universe, helping humanity unravel the mysteries of matter and the formation of our world. Position number 108, Bayon Temple in Cambodia. Located within the Angkor complex, this is one of the most famous and mystical temples in the region, featuring over 200 giant smiling stone faces carved into its towers. It is believed that these faces represent King Jayavarman VII or Canon Bodhisattva. Initially constructed as a Buddhist temple, it was later converted into a Hindu shrine before ultimately returning to a Buddhist place of worship. These shifts reflect the changing religious beliefs of the Khmer rulers at the time. Position number 109, Quinta da Regaleira in Portugal. The most prominent feature of this estate is the Initiation Well, a subterranean spiraling well approximately 89 feet deep. The deep cavity is rimmed by a staircase leading down to the bottom, carrying symbolic meanings associated with initiation rituals into secret societies. While not overly grand compared to other palaces, its facade is extraordinarily ornate, decorated with numerous towers, gargoyles, and meticulous carvings. Inside the palace are stunning frescoes, ceramic tiles, and reliefs, reflecting the love for art and culture of Carvalho Monteiro, the millionaire who commissioned the project. Position number 110, the Motherland Monument in Ukraine. This is a monumental and deeply majestic sculpture. The statue stands 203 feet tall, situated in a prime location and inaugurated in 1981. Built to commemorate victory in World War II, the monument depicts a powerful woman holding a sword in one hand and a shield bearing the national emblem in the other. This imagery symbolizes protection and the resilient defensive spirit of the motherland against hostile forces. Position number 111, Wat Rong Kun, the White Temple in Thailand. This is a Buddhist temple characterized by its pure white hue, symbolizing the purity of the Buddha. Small mirror fragments, meticulously embedded into the architecture, represent his wisdom, shining brightly across the universe. At first glance, it resembles an ancient temple, but it is actually a modern creation, with construction having commenced in 1997. The entire project is estimated to take at least another 90 years to reach completion, as the chief artist and his team work with extreme precision on every single detail. Position number 112. Ponza Silti Aqueduct in the United Kingdom. This is the highest and longest cast-iron aqueduct in Great Britain, measuring approximately 1,007 feet long and 125 feet above the river. This colossal structure is supported by 19 robust stone pillars, carrying a narrow canal that is only nearly 13 feet wide. Despite being over 200 years old, the bridge is still widely used today to carry boats traveling along the Yengolan Canal. Our journey to discover the great wonders of humanity concludes here. We hope that these images have ignited a flame of passion and admiration within you for the endless creativity of mankind. Thank you for being part of this journey across civilizations. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can set off together on our next exciting adventures. See you again soon.